normally get that cue from the town manager, but that's okay. Let's see. Approval of the minutes. Everyone got their packet? Had time to review the minutes. Are there any questions or comments?
I make a motion that the minutes be
Passed.
approved.
We have a motion. We need a second.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Financial reports. Same situation with the package. We've had time to look at it, kind of go over it thoroughly, question anything that you think needs to be done. So are there any questions or comments about the financial reports? Hearing none, we'll need a motion to approve.
Motion to approve.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. I'll ask if there's any further comments about the motion. Hearing none. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. We'll move on to reports and comments.
Easements, we had two that had been outstanding for some time. We have resolved those two. Now as we look forward to possibly doing additional parts of town, we will have to garner more, but the current easements that we were in need of, we have them all in hand. They've all been recorded. Vice Mayor Whitman and I attended a reception at the Inn at Montross last week, and it was a business appreciation event as well as kind of a grand opening kickoff for the inn. So it's exciting to have owners there that are looking forward to creating new business. They are running the inn itself with lodging. I understand they possibly have a chef who will be starting, I think, in the spring. So that's exciting to possibly have another opportunity to eat locally. And another part of that meeting was kind of an acknowledgement of the 250th celebration about just potential partnerships with businesses and organizations. So said that there'll be more on that to come. We had 3 CDs that were coming due at a bank, so and they were all small and paying very little in return. So we combined those 3 CDs into one, earning much more dividends than what the others were getting us. So plus it will actually help us in as far as less accounting, fewer accounts to have to account for. So that's a good thing. One of the things that past councils have discussed and that we're going to hopefully at the beginning of the year start moving forward on is the meals tax. We are pretty much the only locality that does not have a meals tax in a wide swath of area. And we've met with the county in the past about what it would take, and they've offered to help us. We've looked at other communities' ordinances. So we will start that process going down that road in January, start creating the dialogue that will need to happen. It will require an ordinance being written, a public hearing. But I don't know, Mayor, if you have anything to add to that. Just
Everyone will have the opportunity to speak to the plans. We are one of the few remaining jurisdictions not doing a meals tax. And the only reason that I became interested in it was because of hearing some of the business owners from the restaurants who said, they think it's a good thing to do for the town. And I don't want to be too long-winded, but as we did the revitalization with those programs, we did some changes to sidewalks, we did crosswalks, we added lighting, all of which cost funds to maintain. So there's a lot to be maintained. You know, we've added the parking lot now, and we've added the park, and there's a lot of preventative maintenance that we definitely need to stay on top of. So those funds will be well used for those purposes, but everyone will have the opportunity to speak to it, you know, before it goes through.
The only other thing I have on my report mentioning the park and lights, we know that one of the downfalls of the park and having events there is there's literally no lighting in the evening. So we have ordered new lighting for the park just this week. So hopefully when that comes in, it'll get installed. We'll be able to have some events and have some added safety. That will.
Yeah, so it's given some time having some events there which really needed. So leaving that green space next to the property line will allow the kids to have room to run, play ball, whatever. And adding these this floodlight will light the entire park up, and it will come on dusk to dawn. And then as we've had events there, we know that people need to have the ability to hook up to electricity. So while we're doing that, we're going to put those supports out there for that purpose. So in retrospect, it's probably a good idea that we've taken our time doing these things. We still have monies that have been donated towards the project, and we'll continue to use that. The other piece, which is really important, is some sort of safety fence between the park and that drive and that gully. It's a pretty steep gully, and presents itself as it could be unsafe. So we're looking at it. We've talked to a couple companies. The one company we talked to is local now, and they have some really neat ideas for a pencil type fence near where the kids' playground is, and blocking that area off where that embankment is. So they could be developing. And then the next area is up around the first pavilion, that little bank. We're just afraid that someone's going to step off of it or do something. So we're looking at some black wrought iron fencing, and we still have the budget and the funds, but this gentleman would like to be involved in doing the project and charge no labor to have it done. He'd like for it to be a showpiece where others can see his type of work that he does. So we're definitely have a lot of people interested in helping with the park. So we'll continue to work on that. So, you have anything else?
Yes, sir.
Any questions or comments for the town manager?
I just have one quick question with respect to the park. Do we plan that little zone right between the swing playground area and the pavilion? We plan to do like a little unload zone only, because there was some talk about that at one time where, you know, some people are parking there, and there was question marks as to whether that's what we really want to happen. So we were thinking possibly of doing a unload zone. You could come in, unload there, but then you park, you know, close in proximity of the park and walk back in. Was there any talk about that?
Well, I just think that's something council needs to decide if that's what we want, and then put signage up that indicates that.
Okay.
Definitely, it's on the radar, and we definitely should look at that. So I think it's a good idea. It should just be a loading zone. Then they move back and park somewhere else out of the way. So, no other comments? I'll ask if there's any reports, starting with Mr. Watson.
Well, as I said last meeting, for the neighborhood watch, the next meeting will be in January, and the only other thing that has happened thus far is the flyers went out to several businesses with respect to safety for Christmas. So some tips for that. Otherwise, there's nothing else that I've received for that program. You're welcome.
The Christmas Spirit event. It was cold, and it was left up to the committee to make the decision whether we have it or not. And we're not going to step in and always say, no, we don't think you should do it. And I think it really ultimately, it was cold, but the turnout was really nice. The music was amazing. I'll say again, we learned that Alan can sing. And people really had a nice time.
I think they did. I know that it being so cold and with the, I don't know what you call the drizzle, but the icy drizzle.
Frozen fog.
All I know is it fell, but the hot dogs, Santa Claus was amazing. Children were lined up to see him. The music, I can't say enough about those that sang. It just was a good spirit. And some things probably didn't happen. I know 2 or 3 churches. The sad thing is that a lot of the churches were all an aging group.
Mhm.
And they're a little leery of coming out in bad weather. But Providence showed up. I have to put a plug in for them because Santa Claus and Mrs. Claus came on the fire truck. They were great. And it's always emotional to me, and it's an honor to read the names of the schools. And that's really how this thing got started. I think it was Jigger Night that started the fundraiser for the rescue squad with the names on the spirit tree, and it has grown. And when I first got involved with it, the opportunity was offered to the auxiliary to do the tree, and I said, yes, indeed, we'll do it. And when I first started, you come read the names, sing a couple Christmas carols, and go home. And then we got the idea of having hot chocolate, and we had hot chocolate, we read the names, we sang some carols, and we went home. And then this other person came along and had ideas. And I'm not supposed to mention the name, but he has a lot of ideas and the ability to reach out to people and make them want to be involved. And we are so blessed with that. But it's fun, and thank y'all for letting us work with these different projects.
Thank you for doing it. Heading them up, it's a lot of work, we know, but it's great for the town.
It is, and I'm a little slow, and I'm learning quick, but the changes that you've made, like, Alan came up to me and said, no, we're going to do this, and then Barbara Jean came up, we're going to do this, and it all meshed together. And then afterwards I said, you know what, that really worked out nice. So it's the first time that I saw it work that way, that Santa Claus came, and then we did the welcome. So yeah, it got everyone's attention, and it was really nicely done. So all those changes have been really positive.
Ready for Santa, the kids really look forward, and it just worked well, but there's some brains behind this that are learning.
Those fire baskets they looked beautiful, super pretty at nighttime, and they kept us warm too in that cold, so really enjoyed that.
Yep, absolutely. So, Alan,
Well, I have nothing.
how'd you know that's what I was going to ask? Great, thank you all for what you do, really. Can't wait to see next year and how that goes. So, does anyone else, any other council member have comments or anything? I want to again welcome Stacy to the town council. We really appreciate your willingness, and this is an opportunity for you, not putting you on the spot if you'd like to make any comments.
I'm okay at the moment.
That's fine, no problem, I won't do that again. And then I'll ask if there's any comments from the town council about Stacy's association.
I'll just say welcome aboard.
Thank you.
We definitely need some new juice in on the committee, so I'm sure you'll find it rewarding.
Thank you all. Moving down the line, there were no scheduled action items unless someone has something they would like to bring up. No action items. Public comments. Are there any public comments? Hearing no public comments. just before we close, I just want to tell everybody how much we appreciate you being here and working in every capacity, from the town council to the planning commission to the board of zoning appeals. Everyone puts a lot of time in, and we really, really do appreciate it. The Fall Festival Committee and the Christmas Spirit Committee works really hard. My first time going to a meeting was back during the summer, and I had to sit there. I was amazed. There was 24 people there. That was a big crowd, you know. So people are really interested in, and I think the way we keep that interest is including, you know, keeping people involved and seeking out opinions and ideas and making it work. But anyway, on behalf of the town council, we really appreciate everybody and what they do and making this community as special as it is. And Christmas decorations will be judged Thursday night. And Fran has sent out a message on Facebook and the webpage. And I think we've notified the radio stations, so that judging will occur. And the judges are from out of the area, and we'll make sure that that's done and completed.
It starts at 6?
Yes. Yeah, 6 o'clock. There being no further business, the meeting's adjourned. Thank you all for being here, and please enjoy the food.